On Wednesday's TV6 Morning News, the search for Nancy Guthrie intensifies. Police now searching a home following a traffic stop as they work to fill the gaps in the case. We've got the latest.
And a new law for Michigan schools. We break down when students can and can't be on their cell phones.
Plus, who should foot the bill for improving Michigan's roads? People in the cannabis industry prepare to make their case on why it shouldn't be them. We hear from both sides as a new tax measure heads to court. Your TV6 Morning News starts right now.
From Upper Michigan's source, this is your TV6 Morning News.
Good morning and thank you for tuning in. I'm John Redfield.
And I'm Mandy Koskela.
And we're starting off this morning with significant developments in the search for Nancy Guthrie.
Next at 9 on 21 Alive News, a bill to battle illegal immigration is making its way through the Indiana State House. The terms and conditions on that bill as lawmakers work to tighten restrictions. Plus, Mayor Sharon Tucker is preparing for her second State of the City speech. That and more coming up.
Now, from your first alert station, this is 21 Alive News.
Good morning, I'm Jessica Walter. And I'm Sawyer Osman. Thank you so much for joining us for your only local news at 9. Of course, it's Wednesday. We are halfway there. Yay. And with it comes warmer weather.
This is something that will reverberate for years to come.
Shock and disbelief settles in after a shooting rampage in the small BC community of Tumbler Ridge sees 9 people killed, as well as the alleged attacker. As extortion violence runs rampant in BC, Abbotsford's police chief is calling on politicians for help. What reforms the police are asking for?
He was the gold standard as far as I'm concerned.
A legendary voice for the Vancouver Canucks is remembered as tributes pour in for Jim Robson. Good morning, everyone. It's Wednesday, February 11th. Welcome to Your Morning Vancouver. A small community in northern BC is reeling this morning, and the country in shock after an unimaginable tragedy. 9 people have been killed in a mass shooting in the small town of Tumbler Ridge, with more than half of the victims found at a high school. The alleged shooter has also been found dead.
A tiny BC community stunned and grieving this Wednesday night after a deadly shooting spree at a school.
A little bit of guilt that I made it out and they didn't, and that I was there and it could have been me instead of them.
Parents, grandparents, brothers, sisters began this day as their first day on earth without someone they loved dearly.
The victims, how the violence unfolded, what the police are saying about the suspect.
Police had attended that residence on multiple occasions over the past several years, dealing with concerns of mental health.
And the guidance from other Canadians who have endured this kind of trauma.
Global National with Donna Friesen.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. There is unimaginable grief in the small British Columbia community of Tumbler Ridge tonight, mourning the death of 5 children shot and killed in school. They are among 8 people who died. The 9th, according to police, was the suspect, an 18-year-old local resident who died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. 25 others were injured.
Tonight on CFTK TV News, Tumbler Ridge Secondary School was victimized by a horrifying attack. MP Ellis Ross also spoke on what happened at Tumbler Ridge. And we look back at the life of the Canucks' first ever play-by-play announcer.
Northwest BC's only television news team. We are CFTK TV News.
Good evening, I'm Cale Baslett, and here's what's making the news in the Northwest and beyond for today. The community of Tumbler Ridge, BC suffered a great tragedy yesterday when a shooter attacked the Tumbler Ridge Secondary School. CTV's Andrew Johnson has more on what happened.
Tonight on CTV News, tragedy in Tumbler Ridge.
These kids were lost before they got to become teenagers. So let's put their pictures up, please, and remember them, not this murderer.
A small northern BC town reeling after one of Canada's worst mass shootings. Several of the victims just 12 years old.
At that point, we realized this was very serious, and we took tables and put them against the doors.
So the suspect is identified as an 18-year-old female.
by the name of Jesse.
What we're learning about the shooter's history of mental illness, why police had been at the suspect's home before.
This is CTV News with Mi Jung Lee.
This is so devastating to our community.
I walked around our rec center for about 6 hours looking for my child. The police wouldn't tell me anything. I went home not knowing where my daughter was. Hold your kids tight. Tell them you love them every day. You never know. You never know.
Distraught parents in Tumbler Ridge overcome with grief, struggling to come to grips with senseless deaths. Their 12-year-old daughter was one of several children gunned down in the mass shooting that has shocked our country. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. The tight-knit community of Tumbler Ridge is grappling with grief and heartbreak tonight. 8 people were shot to death, most of them 12 and 13 years old. The shooter is also dead. We have extensive coverage of the worst mass school shooting in this country in more than 3 decades. We start with CTV's Michelle Bernara, who is live outside RCMP Division in Surrey with the latest. Michelle?
Tonight, police named the suspect of the mass shooting in Tumbler Ridge. The BC community stripped down to raw emotion.
We're here for the victims of these kids and these families, about these kids that lost their lives for absolutely no reason whatsoever.
We're getting a clearer picture of the 2 crime scenes and testimony from those who were near the school.
I don't know who all showed up here, but there were a lot of RCMP on the ground.
Plus, a glimmer of good news. A victim reported dead survives.
She is alive and was one of the 2 female victims that were airlifted to hospital.
But for the loved ones of 8 others gunned down, a message from an entire country.
The nation mourns with you. Canada stands by you.
From CBC News, this is The National with Chief Correspondent Adrian Arsenault.
Thank you for joining us. We're learning more tonight about the mass shooting in Tumbler Ridge, BC, a community still obviously in agony, trying to make sense of the violence that has delivered waves of shock and grief. Police now say there are 9 dead, all but one of them children, revising downward the initial reports of 10, a testament perhaps to the chaos of responding to an active shooter at the local high school, one of 2 crime scenes in the town of around 2,500 people.
Live, local, late breaking. 13 News starts right now with a late breaking alert.
FBI agents once again scouring the foothills today for clues and going door to door in Nancy Guthrie's neighborhood as they try to solve the disappearance of Savannah Guthrie's mom. Thanks for joining us for 13 News Live at 4. I'm Dan Maries.
And I'm Brooke Wagner. There are new developments this afternoon in the search for missing 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie.
Authorities believe the mother of the Today Show host, Savannah Guthrie, was abducted from her home. 13 News reporter Renee Romo joining us live from the Catalina foothills outside of Nancy's home.
Renee, you have seen an increase in law enforcement today?
The fallout continues. Tonight on our news, the PLP says a Free National Movement candidate should step aside following that recent release of Epstein files. The party chairman decrying what he says appears to be a false narrative taking shape. This is the opposition leader addressing the state of his party heading into the upcoming general election. And the Prime Minister responding to public sector frustration, explaining what he meant when he said, "Trust me," at a recent political event. Then in our news at 7:30.
The illegal pharmaceutical business is raising concerns in the medical community. Tonight, the local association responsible speaks out.
Our news live at 7 starts right now. Welcome to our news live at 7. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Candino Knowles. The fallout over the release of documents tied to Jeffrey Epstein continues tonight. The chairman of the PLP says a Free National Movement candidate should step aside, urging the public to err on the side of caution and not buy into what he describes as a false narrative taking shape.
Okay, ground stop at 0630 for how long?
10 days.
So the airport's totally closed?
Apparently, we just got informed about 30 minutes or an hour ago.
An unprecedented move from the federal government leads to chaos and confusion across the borderland. Coming up, why did the FAA issue a total shutdown of the airspace in El Paso and southern New Mexico? We'll show you how local leaders are reacting.
Live from the KFOX 14 studios, this is KFOX 14 News at 9.
Conflicting reports tonight about why the federal government shut down the airspace over El Paso and parts of southern New Mexico. That closure was lifted several hours after it was announced, but federal officials have offered different explanations as to why, and the full picture remains unclear tonight.
Live, where news comes first. This is ABC 7 with breaking news.
This is CBS News, Texas.
Attendant told me that the flight had been canceled, all flights going to and from El Paso, and I was like in shock.
Right now, 10 o'clock, there was chaos and there was a little bit of fear over what turned out to be only an hours-long closure of that airspace over El Paso. How it all started and then suddenly ended, and now the conflicting reasons behind it. Also tonight, new body camera video showing tense moments before Dallas police officers shoot and kill a man in the middle of a mental health crisis. What officers heard before they stormed inside. Plus, an influx of support from across this country for a family grieving the loss of two brothers-in-law in an accident in Dallas. Welcome, CBS News Texas at 10 o'clock. We're on the air. I'm Doug Dunbar. Tonight, Texas Senator Ted Cruz, first off, asking for a classified briefing now after the airspace around El Paso's International Airport was temporarily shut down for hours. And a briefing, candidly, may be needed since two major government agencies seem at odds over what happened here.